topic of the conversation. In the meantime, as we're getting closer towards the end of the year, I find that I'm seeing a lot of lazy money laying around, in my clients' saving and checking accounts. And a lot of the conversation has been what to do with that money. So obviously you want the money to be somewhat liquid, short term, but you also don't want it to be sitting there earning very little. So looking at even small things, I'm always about how you do anything is how you do everything. So I talked about I-bonds several times last year and then this year. I-bonds are giving over 9%. I think it's close to 9.7% in interest. You can only put $10,000 per person in them. So that's a great one for even grandparents that want to set up for their grandkids or parents for their children. That's a great way of setting something up that's giving them a good high interest rate. Remember that how I-bonds work is that if you, let's say after the first year holding it, you decided you needed the money, if you go ahead and walk away with it, they're going to keep about 3 months worth of interest unless you're past year 5. But that's not a big deal, and it would be the interest of what it is at that time. So let's say, for example, you open up an account with $10,000, you're getting 9.7% the first year. Let's say the next year they say 7, the following year is 5, and then you decide to walk away. So they're talking about the last 3 months, which would have been that 5% interest is what you're giving up. So it's not that big of a deal. Don't get worried so much about looking at the terms, 30 or 5 year. It really is about just that interest rate. But it's a nice way to be able to earn something. So let's say if you're a couple and you have $100,000 sitting in your savings account not earning anything, well, each of you can open up an account this year, $10,000 each, that's $20,000, and then in January turn around and do it again. That's $40,000 at least, earning way more than the whopping 1% or less in your checking account. Again, it's all about how we do anything is how we do everything. So looking at any lazy money you have and making sure it's working for you. Also keep in mind, if your cash on hand is getting too much, you're sitting on a lot of money at the bank, or your CDs are coming due, the interest rates are a little bit better. There are laddering CDs and different fixed buckets that can give you a decent interest rate. So if you happen to see some cash you're sitting on and you forgot to tell your team, be sure to reach out and we'll give you some advice of what you can do with it. I mean, these are fixed accounts, so they're courtesy accounts, and we'll be happy to also send you to different banks that are going to give you a decent interest rate for like some of the liquid accounts that you need. In the meantime, if you are interested in setting up an I-bond, remember that it's not something that you can do through us. You need to set it up yourself. I'll be happy to send you a link for you to be able to go ahead and be able to purchase those. I have included a link here that you can click on that actually will take you to a page that explains it a little bit further, and you can go ahead and utilize that. But again, if you have any other questions or need to reach your team, go ahead and reach us. If you're also friends or family of our clients or colleague and you're watching this and you're like, well, Crystal, I'm not just worried about my lazy money. I'm worried also what's going on in my 401k, what's going on in all my other accounts. If you don't have a good foundation in place, this is the right time to get a second opinion and really understand what's going on in your portfolio. One of the things that you will see over and over again is when you have a good foundation in place, market volatility is not going to stress you out the same way. You may see some things go down and you may not be happy about it. No one's thrilled if anything is down, but when you know you're protected because you have a safety net in place and your plan has been run through stress testing and Monte Carlo simulations, then you can sleep at night. So I think it's extremely important to always remember that. In the meantime, remember my tip. How you do anything is how you do everything. Make every penny work for you. Talk to you soon. Have a great one.